All right, how's it going? My name is Ray Schwartz. I want to thank you for signing up for this webinar. Talk a little bit while people start to fill in about who I am. I'm going to keep this webinar very short, less than 45 minutes. It might seem like a long time, but I'm going to try to cram as much as I can into this webinar to show you the three-stage process of how you can automate and grow your lending business. Now, this is what I call the 2020 mortgage blueprint. And it's going to be, as I said, full of useful takeaway information that you can implement. I'm not going to go in and, like every other webinar, and talk about myself the whole time, bring up a bunch of case studies of people that you don't know or care about, and it's not going to be 80% sales pitch, 20% content. I'm going to keep the sales pitch until the end, and if you stay here to the end, I'm going to reward you for that with a nice discount on the software. You know, I'm doing this webinar to help you understand the change that's taking place right now in the lending industry, but also, obviously, you're not naive. I'm on here to try to sell you something. But when I go through the process here and show you how powerful it is, and then how simple it is to implement with my software, TIO, it's going to be a no-brainer. So as people flow in here, I'm going to get started here in the next minute or so. If you want to put your questions in, you can. You can send us an email. There'll be links to set up a demo of our software. And we're also going to have a recording of this that we're going to send out to you. So don't worry about taking too many notes. There will be a chat, and at the end, I will answer a few questions. If I don't get to yours, I'm sorry. We get a lot of questions on these webinars, so I'll pick out some of the best ones as we're going here. So let's jump right into it. The way that we have been taught to market and get new customers in lending as well as real estate is built for a world that no longer exists. I want you to let that sink in for a minute, because some of you watching this, you might not be doing any of your own marketing or advertising at all. But if you are, from what we've looked at, I've spoken with 15 of the top 20 lenders executives. Majority, maybe one of them is using some of the methods I'm going to show you today. The reason that no one's using these methods is because in the past, marketers like to overcomplicate everything. And you know, it's not your fault that you're using these old methods. It's not really anyone's fault. All right, we did everything that the gurus and experts and HubSpot, which is a marketing software company, they pretty much coined inbound marketing. All of these experts have told us to do it this way for the past 10 years. But if you're like me, if you're like a lot of the people I talk to, you're not getting the results that you want. And many of you are watching this, you're probably well aware of the shift that's taking place right now in lending. You have Opendoor, OpCity, HomeLight, and 100 of these tech startups that they are launching products with the single goal of making loan officers and realtors obsolete. Then you have, on the other hand, all of these lead companies who are making fortunes on the dependency for leads that realtors and lenders have. Not until recently did I really, truly grasp how many mortgage businesses rely on these companies to keep them afloat. If the lead source goes stale or it becomes too expensive, most of the companies I've talked to, pipelines would dry up. Then on the other side of it, you have, if this is you, it's not a knock. You have a referral only broker that has been working and courting real estate agents for 10, 20, even 30 years. This still works. It's never going to be disrupted. Realtor referral relationships are the key and lifeblood to a lot of businesses. However, why do you only want to use one channel? That's what I always ask people I get on the phone with that are referral only. Do you want to grow? If I had a contest and you went out this week and you had to get 100 referrals, could you do it? Probably not. That's a lot of referrals. But if you want to grow your business and scale up while these referrals are coming in, you can't be generating your own online leads. There's no way. I could scale up next week and generate 100 prospects every single day, like clockwork, down to the day and the dollar. And that's what I'm going to show you here today. All right. So you have other companies, think about it, like Zillow. All right. They are selling leads and they have always sold leads, and now they're flipping and they're getting into the mortgage business. They're starting to do the loans themselves. They see the writing on the wall. They know this advertising model that they've used to sustain and grow their valuations to billions of dollars is fading away. They know it's happening, yet very few mortgage brokers have transitioned to start generating their own prospects in the direct-to-consumer model. Okay? So you also have the last pain point here that I find is you have a lot of these digital marketer gurus. It's like every millennial, they pop up, all of a sudden they're experts. They take a course on how to do mortgage marketing, and they then try to charge you $2,500 to either buy their course or to manage it for you. But they have no competitive advantage. Okay? They're all just preying off your appetite for leads. So let's get right into it here. I'm going to go through this quick, get a pen and paper. I'm going to keep this very high level. I'm not going to get into the weeds here. Okay? But what I'm going to show you, don't think it's too technical either, because at the end, I'm going to show you how right now, just this week, we had a new loan officer sign up, and they were 70 years old, and they implemented this system. Because really never before in history has technology been so available at such a low cost. All right? The fastest way right now to grow your business is very simple. It's not that complicated. How can you get more customers more predictably, faster, and for less? Now, I want you to step back and I want you to put your consumer hat on for a minute as I go into breakthrough number one. Okay, I want to talk about what the process is now. Imagine you're Sarah here, okay? A successful 30-year-old professional. She's actively searching for a home and has been doing research on mortgage companies, but she hasn't made the first step and chose a lender to do business with. She sees an ad on Facebook that talks about getting pre-qualified for a loan. Now, these ads, they're fairly easy to place. If you are somewhat good at writing copy, you can grab attention. But she clicks this form. She comes to the form, and after filling it out, she's sent to a generic thank you page that someone says, "Oh, we'll call you." After looking at large companies all the way down to small companies, we found that the amount of callback time averages 42 hours. Okay? Sarah, like the majority of people, every really digital savvy home buyer, she doesn't want to wait. Okay? She wants an on-demand experience, and she deserves it because there was a high benchmark that's already been set by Amazon, by Uber, by Betterment, which is an online company that does money management, and of course, Rocket Mortgage. So Sarah, like the majority of social leads that has went through and filled out this traditional form, will never be heard from again. She's not going to pick up her phone. She's not going to just get up one day and say, "Oh, I forgot. I need to call that mortgage broker whose form I filled out online because I haven't heard from him." Now let's switch it and talk about the other way, okay? Sarah, after she does not receive a call or does not pick up the phone from the first loan officer, she goes to that Loan Tree site. She fills out her information, only to be contacted by 3 to 5 brokers for the next 6 months. I don't know if you've filled out these forms yourself, but it's ridiculous. Go do it. your phone doesn't stop ringing, you get text messages, constant emails, and then they'll keep marketing to you really forever. It is disruptive. Consumers hate it. And both of these types of campaigns are widespread and they lead to a bad experience. The consumers hate it. And that's why now people are so adverse to filling out these online forms. Sarah now will just become another person stored away in one of those spreadsheets that you have that you'll try to email here and there, but will never turn into a relationship. And that's why right now, lending and real estate marketing campaigns are failing. And whether you want to face it or not, millennials and Gen Z will make up more than 50% of the home buyer in the next decade. So let's go. Here we are. Discovery number one, breakthrough number one is very simple. We figured out, hey, why don't we give the customers what they actually want? So over the last year, we have generated a flood of leads, hundreds of thousands of leads in mortgage and real estate. And once we figured out the formula, as I said, it was easy to get the leads. The hard part is the conversion. And the reason conversion is so low is because, as I just said and showed you, the process sucks. So it had little to do really with the copy or the imagery or all these things that the pretend marketers try to pitch. Let's step back now and look at this process of what we created so you can take it in. Sarah clicks an ad that looks different. We're not pitching the same boring rates, and I'll come back to this later on. She goes to a clean, well-designed form. She fills out a few simple questions, then she verifies her phone number. Okay, this eliminates chasing down bogus numbers, which the majority of these online leads are. And after she verifies, all we need is her address. In the next 5 to 10 seconds, we programmatically pull her FICO and Experian credit report and match that to your minimum loan parameters. Sarah now, as opposed to going to a generic thank you page, is given that instant reward that she has passed the first step with no social and no long application. Sarah's happy. She knows she can start the conversation without any credit shame. That's it. So we figured it out. Just give them what they want. And we're keeping on improving all of the information that Sarah can receive live without getting on the phone. But by doing this, we've taken Facebook and Instagram ads that used to be trash, and we have now turned them into treasure. A happier consumer is leading to over 80% of prospects scheduling themselves, dialing in, or messaging back with zero human interaction. Not only are these leads converting at a higher rate, but it led to a better experience for our lending partners. If you're doing any type of lead gen on social, you know how heavy these leads can flow in. I could get 100 leads tomorrow with a small team and not a large budget, but I do not know who to call. And really, 30% of people, and that number is rising after we've done this, they're qualified. The other 70% are not. But you don't know those 70 people out of 100, so you keep dialing them over and over and over again. Or worse, you get them on the phone and they say, let's do it, this is great. And you put them through the application process and you pay for the tri-merge, and you realize that they have a 500 credit score and they'll never get a loan. You've wasted a lot of time and a lot of opportunity cost. So now that we know exactly who is qualified, we realize that this was astounding. We were getting these leads, but there was a very, very low percentage, sub 10%, that were actually qualified. So now, with the ability for us to track qualified leads back to each campaign, which I'm going to go through a quick run through here, we could figure out how to change the copy, the image, and the targeting on Facebook to reach people that are more qualified, even with the new housing regulations on Facebook and Instagram's platform. So here's a sample of an ad, all right? We changed the copy to speak more about the ease of the process without ever including rates or teasers or misleading language. So we're testing right now, and at that point, we started testing what type of ads speak to our primary qualified home buyer. We couldn't do this before, so we really had no idea what we were doing. But after a lot of testing of different copy and pictures like this, we found the formula to not only produce inexpensive leads, but at a higher rate of qualification. Now, the copy was one part. If you've done any advertising on Facebook, you know a lot of the success is in the targeting. How can I place my ad on Facebook in front of the right people at the right time? So say this is your local market, okay, on Facebook. This circle here with all the dots. Only a small percentage of these people are actively searching for a home or visiting sites on Facebook, and Facebook knows everything. They have over 400,000 attributes on any given person. So this audience here is very broad. So using interests like Zillow or mortgage loans or Trulia or cash out refis, Facebook allows us to target people that show the signs of being in market, as I stated, for a loan. But that's just the beginning. Every single marketer out there now, because if you're unaware, HUD cracked down on Facebook and made it so you only can target people from 18 to 65 plus in a 15-mile radius. Now, just because you start to target people that are interested or actively looking for a home, you're only able to select from, say, 15 to 20 different interest groups that every single other loan officer and realtor is also using. So the power of Facebook marketing is what's called the pixel. In simple terms, the pixel tracks the events and actions that people who click your ad take either on your website or in Facebook Messenger and relays that information to Facebook's algorithm. Facebook's algorithm then takes a snapshot of this person and says, oh, great. This is who I want to target. Now I'm going to go find people like them who will fill out this form at the lowest cost. But as you can see here in this example of the old way, we are taking here Sarah, all right, who has a high credit score, the professional we just talked about, and then say someone sees the ad, and here's Tommy Boy. He's a millennial. He wants to buy a house. He's got a part-time job. He has a low FICO score. He clicks the ad just like Sarah does and goes to a thank you page. That thank you page is tracking Sarah and Tommy like they're the same person. So Facebook gets confused. It doesn't know who to show these ads to. So Facebook, being that it is looking for a person to fill out a form at the lowest cost, will start to show this ad more predominantly to Tommy, because Tommy might be desperate and other people like Tommy might be desperate, and they see an ad and say, oh, I wonder if I could get a loan. And we don't know how, from that point on, to delineate between Sarah and Tommy. So we're training Facebook's algorithm on the wrong stuff, which leads to low quality leads. Now, there are a lot of self-proclaimed gurus out there who are going to come up with form builders that are going to say, if you're a little bit more advanced, that, oh, well, we're going to only pixel the people that self-report our credit at a high level. And we're only going to pixel them, Ray. So why would I need to do it this fancy way? Well, after testing thousands of leads, 73.8% of people either lie or are unaware of their credit. So we're still sending Facebook the wrong data. Now, let's look at our way, the new way, okay? Sarah and Tommy both see the ad in the beginning. We start to have them click that ad. They go through an instant Experian pre-qual right then, and based on what their credit score is, we bucket them and pixel them with a specific event that now we're training Facebook on only people like Sarah. So if you look at this diagram again of this entire market, we're trying to target now a smaller group inside of this market that's most likely to be a qualified buyer. Now, a lot of questions come up with compliance. Well, how can I target like that? That's against the rules. Facebook still cannot use any demographic, racial, or geographic targeting filters when pixeling these people when it's a housing ad. However, Sarah takes a lot of actions online. Almost every site now has the Facebook pixel on it. They know what sites people are visiting. They know what's going on. Sarah, for example, could be shopping a bunch of different homes on Zillow that are of a high value. She has 400,000 different attributes that start to define her. So the more we train Sarah on this Facebook pixel, the more this pixel sends the right information and will increase the amount of quality above 600 or 650 credit score that are flowing into your pipeline. So those two discoveries are the most profound, okay? Not only are we saving a lot of time, we're giving the consumer a better experience, but we're also telling Facebook how to place ads in front of people that will turn into borrowers. So to get a little bit more technical now, okay? In the past on Facebook, as I just showed you, it would take, even if you were training the pixel correctly, which no one is doing, but let's just say you had this technology and you implemented it, all right? If you're not spending a large amount of money, you're still not going to get enough data to actively target the right people. Sure, it could do better. It could do better than most people out there, but what we've done is this. We have figured a way to pool pixel data so that we're tracking thousands of qualified leads across every campaign we're running, and we hyper train your pixel faster than anyone else. So you need a lot of data and good data, and you'll win on Facebook and Instagram. And the cost, as I said right now, we had one campaign come in at 87 cents for a full short application with the soft pull. So it's all a volume game. So with this volume, in a perfect world, okay, you'd have every single person's schedule. You'd have every one of them come through the pipeline, and they would just book an appointment. But that's a perfect world. So we came to our next breakthrough, which was a problem that we had. How could we reach these people on the channels that they use most quickly so we can engage them and automate all of the follow-up so that we can convert more of the qualified leads to appointments and long applications? So let's go back to Sarah again, okay? When Sarah is at work, she's constantly using Slack, HipChat, and other messaging apps. When she's sharing experiences, it's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And when chatting with friends, she does it on Messenger, SMS, and WhatsApp. These new conversational marketing channels are helping to increase conversion by 8 times that of email and calls alone. So what we did was we ended up through using all of these different complicated softwares and trying to figure out what the messaging was and building all of these funnels. You've probably heard that word before. We figured, we're just going to build our own software. So we went about building a software that incorporated voice, ringless voicemail, text messages, Messenger, even programmatic mail, so that we could automate all of the follow-up. And if you go and do a little bit of research after this on lead conversion of when the lead comes in, you have, as you can see here in this chart, a 5-minute window to contact that lead. So what we figured out was this. Millennials will not pick up the phone as much, and really anybody will not pick up the phone. Just think about your cell phone. If you don't preface someone calling and make them aware of what the number is. So what we do is this. This is a bonus little secret here, okay? We text that prospect within 5 minutes. So if they don't fill out the form and go and schedule themselves or dial in or go to the Long app, we are going to automatically text them, "Hey, Sarah, this is Ray with XYZ Mortgage Company. This is my phone number. I got your information. I can't wait to talk. I'll give you a call in the next 30 seconds to a minute when I hop on the phone." Boom. Just by doing that, we've seen the pickup rate of calls grow by 7 times. So what we've done now is we've prefaced it, and now the software we have actually places a call to the person or the user or the loan officer or the real estate agent, gives the lead information, and they simply press 1 to connect. So by connecting with someone in that first 5-minute window, all right, you're going to increase your sales by as much as 500%. And this was a deep, deep study done by MIT as well as a company called Inside Sales, where they looked at hundreds of thousands of leads. And it's an older study, but it still rings true. You need to hit the person with the right message at the right time, and you need to contact them first. If you do that, you'll win. After we've implemented this a lot, as you can see from this slide, and I wanted to just address this, we get a lot of people, a lot of older school loan officers, executives, they say, "Oh, my customers, they're not on Messenger." Well, they are. Look at this stat here. I mean, every single age group, look at the adoption rate that people are using Messenger, and everybody uses texts. There's a bunch of studies. I can put links in here. If you go to our blog and read more, you'll see more stats. People read texts, they read Messenger, and when they get that information, they read it quickly, and that helps you engage with them and get them on a call. So that's it. Put the consumer first, give them the on-demand experience, qualify the leads, train Facebook on how to target better leads, and over time, we have seen this progression start to really produce gold. Now, the problem we ran into was, well, this takes a lot of work. I had 5 guys doing different jobs trying to maintain all this. We had to build these elaborate campaigns. We had to go through and do the credit checks. We had to build this complicated software. So we even, you have to manage and build all the ads, all the landing pages. Everything that goes into this is pretty complicated. So 3 months ago, I thought to myself, shit, why don't we just automate this whole process? Why are we going to sit here? Every single one of these that we're setting up is pretty much the same type of campaigns for every single loan officer and realtor. So let's create a system that helps them use their landing pages, their Facebook pages, and dynamic images and ad copy so they can use the same system we did instantly. So we took all the knowledge we gained and we built it into one intelligent application, and that's called TIO. TIO will set up proven ad campaigns. It's going to uncover the most profitable market segments, pull credit, pre-qualify, and manage your follow-up 24/7, 365. This will allow you to focus on building relationships and closing deals. Our motto is pretty simple: AI for all of us. But we don't think of it just as artificial intelligence. We call it augmented intelligence. We think that science has the means to accelerate human achievement. We don't think the realtor and the broker will be sent out to pasture. People want to do business with people. You just need to accelerate that process and make it easier for them and easier for yourself using technology. So give me a second here. Thank you. I'm going to switch over to the screen. Once again, put any questions you have. I want to thank you for staying on this long. I'm just going to go through. This is the sales part, but I'm only going to be a minute or two, and at the end of this, I'm going to give you access to either get on a call with us, some more information. Okay, here we go. Or a discount. So here it is. All right, I'm in TO right now. I go to my ad dashboard, I choose my campaign, I choose my area, I choose how much I want to spend, okay, and done. All right, that's it. I just launched everything I just told you above. The ads, the targeting, the credit pull, the landing page, all the events that I'm training Facebook on, the follow-up, everything is done. It's as the great Ron Popeil says, it's a set it and forget it software. It's a new type of software, all right? It's an intelligent type of software that doesn't need maintenance every day. That's the pitch. Short and simple, sweet, right to the point. Save time, push button, get leads, grow your business, and scale up. But we're not stopping there, all right? This software is in its early stages, and we're adding on tools like LexisNexis, which we're partnering with them to create a lending score that looks at 185 plus data points. That's even going to further qualify that lead. We've even set a partnership with FormFree and FormFree's Passport application. This is going to allow you to plug in, or it's going to be in a lot of different software platforms you probably already use. That's going to allow you to digitally verify assets, income, and employment. We're creating calculators right now that are going to allow you to give an initial estimate of how much they can afford and pre-qualify them with their credit score. The leads that you're going to get are 100% exclusive. All the ads come from your Facebook page, so you secondarily get all of the branding in your local area because thousands of people are going to see your brand in their feed in your area. So it's like every decision, okay? You got three options. This is in all seriousness. It sounds harsh, but there's going to be winners and there are going to be losers in the next decade. From 2020 on, things are going to change. The industry is going to change. It's ripe for disruption. If you don't start turning your business into a more tech, data-driven, and automated machine, you're going to be left in the dust. The technology now allows you not even to be a large company, to compete with the largest enterprises by plugging in this tool set. And it's just starting here with customer acquisition. You could go do it the slow way. All right, you could go hire someone or try to do the ad yourself or try to write 250,000 lines of code to create TO. You could try to do all these things. You could go buy a course there's plenty of other options out there, but they're slow and they're going to take time to set up, time to master. This has taken us a long time to figure out. Or you hire TO and you do it the fast way. It takes 15 minutes max to set up. If you can fill a form, you can set it up. And it's all compliance approved, ready to go. You upload all of your own disclosures, as well as we guide you through the right language to use when collecting the information to grab the credit score. So enough preaching. I'm going to pop up here a link. You've waited to the end. Here is the checkout. If you want to go get it now for the next 24 hours, like I said, this is kind of internet marketing, but it's for action takers. Go on, check it out, get the discounted rate. All right. So there's going to be a link here. If you go through, we're going to drop down the $195, okay, per month, which is way too low. We're probably going to increase that pretty soon, to only $125 a month to get started. Okay? $125. I mean, I went to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse last night and my bill was $125. Now, on top of that, you have to pay per pull of $5, as well as you have to pay for each qualified lead. And why, people ask, why do I have to pay for $5 extra? Because that gives us a vested interest in keeping the pricing low per month so that we only get compensated when you're successful. And that is only when you get more qualified leads. Last little tidbit, little sizzle, okay? In select markets, we also are releasing an app that is, let's call it a sister app to TO, which is called Maya, which will allow a real estate agent to plug into their MLS in the same quick, easy run through, create advertisements on Facebook that drive traffic for listings, curated lists, and it manages all of the follow-up across every channel. It's even more intelligent. It can uncover and answer questions on properties just like a realtor would. And if Maya does not know the answer, it will push that off to the realtor. You get the benefit of partnering with that realtor, and all of the leads that need to be pre-qualified will go right into your pipeline, as well as you'll get a lot of seller leads, and those seller leads, well, maybe they don't want to sell. How about a refi? All right, that's it. Hopefully I opened your mind here, kept it high level, didn't get into the weeds, too technical. This is the future. As I said, we're talking with, if you're part of a larger company, we're probably already talking to them about this. So get in now, get in quickly. I'm going to open up. I got a lot of questions that came through here already. So give me 1 second. I'm going to start to answer them. If I don't answer your question, I'm going to pop another link up here. If you're not ready to pull the trigger, that's fine. You can hop on a call, get on a quick demo. Even if you have a larger team, we'll do it too. A large company, who's ever watching this right now, we can get on a quick demo call and run through everything and answer the exact questions that you have. Hold on here. All right, number one. Does this work with Google? We're testing this. You might have access to it right now. We're testing this in some markets. We're moving into it. The thing is, it takes more budget. If you want to market on search, we can do it. We're testing it. As I said, it might show up in your platform now. We're testing. But we found, for refis, it's good. But it's expensive. You got to spend a good amount, 100 a day minimum. Okay, who do you use for soft pulls? Okay, so we have a partnership with Experian where we can pull the soft pull, and then here's another question. How do you do it with just your the name and the address? I thought you needed social. No, we don't. So they've become so advanced now. Our hit rate is like 85%. It's the full credit report. You go in and you can even set your loan offers, and you can go through from there and decide if they have bankruptcies, a bunch of different terms that you can go through and create your ideal loan parameters in there. Can I connect to my CRM? Yes. So your CRM, it has what's called a webhook, not to get too techie, but every major CRM takes a webhook, and you can set it up and send over that lead to your CRM based on a trigger. So one trigger could be, for example, if it's a qualified lead or they set an appointment, send it over. Okay, the other one, how do they book appointments? Do I need to use my calendar? It has a full suite where you can connect Google Calendar. And if you don't have Google Calendar, there's ways to hook up Outlook. We're in the process of building that, but if you don't want to use either, it will just set from 9 to 5 in your time zone, and it will take the appointments, and you can just kind of go from there and call them to confirm or move the appointment up. How much are you generating leads for? Okay, that's a good question. So the majority of the campaigns, it's kind of an ebb and flow on any advertising. Refi is easy some months. It sucks other months. It's harder to generate leads for refi. New home buyer, first-time home buyer, even self-employed we're setting up right now, testing. Those are generating leads. First-time home buyer is like sometimes, I'd say average, hold on here, let me look, $3.48, okay? Now we've seen them lower, we've seen them higher. It depends on your market. If you're in LA or you're in New York City, it's gonna cost more. I mean, the houses are more, it's gonna cost more. Okay, this is a good lead-in. What percentage are qualified versus non-qualified? Okay, qualified right now, we started at 10% when we first started doing this, which we did not like. Since we have started to take on more users and we started to tweak the system, we're ranging from 20 to 30%. And once again, that just depends on the area of qualified people. But this is all a volume play. You can't just expect to go in month one, turn everything on, and just get all qualified leads coming in. If it was that easy, I would already own the largest, I'd probably be competing with Quicken right now. It, dollar for dollar, is the best marketing you can do by yourself using your own brand on Facebook and Instagram. Nothing will beat it. What about compliance? All right, this is the last one I'm going to take. I'm already going over. I think people are already dropping off. Okay, compliance, everything in the dashboard, which we show you how to do. You can add your disclosures. You can go in and you can add all of your assumptions, all your rate tables, and everything will be updated with your information. Even the footer, the logo, the housing, even the pictures, your NMLS ID will be placed on the pictures in the ads. If you even want to go the next step, you can go in and edit all the ad scripts and upload your own photos. So everything in there can be manipulated based on your compliance department. All right, one more here. What do I need to do to get someone to sign up for Maya? It depends on your area. We have a list here, or if you just send us an email, we'll tell you if your area is live. If it is live, you can go in and you just send over and invite a realtor. They can sign up if they're part of that MLS, and then you send them an encrypted link. That link allows them to send all the pre-quals and all the leads over to your TO system. They get all the leads coming in for buyers and sellers, and it's automated split RESPA compliant billing, so you don't have to worry about it. So that's it. I'm sure you got plenty of other questions. Or if you're like me, I like to dive in. I mean, we're going to give you the link here to get this for, it's a low price. Okay? Get in, start using it. You're going to need to assign a budget to pay for the ads. You're going to have to account for paying for the soft pulls. But you're going to generate leads. You're going to save time. And it's going to be very predictable. It's like any investment, okay? If I'm spending X amount on ads, and I'm getting this many qualified leads, and this many qualified leads turn into closings, well, it's easy for you to invest more. And if you invest more, we make more, and that gives us, as I said, a vested interest in making you successful. Thank you for watching this. Add more questions. Check out our blog, go.hireto.com. I'll put some links here. I go through all the different other lead vendors, a bunch of different articles in there. Check it out. Thanks for staying this long. If you have, talk to you soon. Hope you sign up for TO. Happy hunting.